Okay, this is part 3 of our lesson 1.1. Bring my timer over so it's less than 15 minutes. This is part 3 of lesson 1.1. And you're going to try these 3 problems. You're going to pause this video and try them on your own. You're going to use compatible numbers to estimate. Then you're going to find the actual quotient or answer. And then if you have a remainder, you're going to write it as a fraction. Remember, putting your remainder as your numerator and your denominator is your divisor, the number you're dividing by. So go ahead and pause this video, write these down. You can even stop it, take some time to work them all out. Okay, so now let's go over your work and over your answers for each of these. I don't want to overwhelm you, so let's do one at a time. So here we have this first problem. And what I did to find, and it's okay if your compatible number estimate is a little different than mine, that's fine. What I did for mine is I just changed the 9 to a 10. And then I looked at this and it says, if you know about how to name place value, you know this is 3,150 or 315 tens. So if there's 315 tens, that would be the answer because we're dividing by 10. So that's our compatible number. So I know it will have 3 digits. And so I knew when I started this problem that I would have 1, 2, 3 digits starting from the ones place. And so I worked that number out. And I had 350 when I divided. And it was easy to find that first digit because it's already in my compatible number. And I checked my problem by multiplying my quotient with my divisor. So quotient times the divisor. And I did get, there wasn't a remainder on this one, so I had 3,150. Okay, let's look at number 2. All right, so number 2, first step, find the compatible number. So I changed my 72 to a 70. And then I looked for numbers that were multiples of 7 that would be close to these first 2 numbers. So to myself, I went 7, 14, this isn't close to 14, 21. And I said, oh, this is really close to 21 as my first 2 digits here. And then I just added my zeros. So we have 2,100 divided by 70. I use the place value rule that if you're dividing a number with that extra 0 in the placeholder and you have a 0 in your dividend, you can get rid of those zeros and just do the shortcut. 21 divided by 7 is 3. 1 extra placeholder is 0. So I knew my compatible number was 30, and that tells me I have 2 digits. So I'd have a digit over the 5 and a digit over this 1. So the first number, I'm going to start out trying that 3 just to see if it works. And I multiplied, and I found out that when I multiply by 3, it's too big. I had 216, and that's not under 211. So that one was too big. So that did not work, that strategy that time. So I tried the lower number, which was the 2, placed that in the 10 spot, divided this out, had a remainder of 27, which I put as my numerator, and then I put the 72, the divisor, as my denominator. Then when I went to check the problem, make sure this was correct, I did use the 27 to add in my answer. So I did 72 times 29, added the 27, and I had 2,115. And then finally, problem number 3. Remember, if I'm going too fast and you're trying to write these down because you didn't understand them the first time, feel free to pause the video at any point that you need to take extra time. So I left my divisor 180, and this was really close to, I could make 180 out of these first numbers because 208 isn't that far from 180. Then I added placeholders for the other 2 digits. And I know that 180 fits into this 180 let's see, how did I do that? Oh, I first used the place value rule, where if this has a tens digit, that's a 0, and this one has a tens digit, that's a 0, I can go ahead and divide those two out. 18 goes into 18 once, then my two place holding zeros. So I know that my answer should have probably 3 digits. We're going to start there. So I started here, 1, 2, 3 digits over, and I placed my 1. 1 times 180 is 180. Subtracted. Again, I subtracted 180, trying another 1 there because 180 plus 180 is over 300, so that would be too big. So I used a 1, subtracted, had 103, brought down my 5, looked to see how many times I thought 180 would go into 1,035. We tried 5 times, had 900, and let's see. So I had a remainder of 135, which is a really big remainder, but it is smaller than the 180. So I'm going to make a fraction out of the 135 and the 180. Simplify that down, I would get 27 over 36, which I could simplify again by dividing those both by 9. 9 fits into 27 3 times. 36 divided by 9 is 4. So I could get 3/4 there as my simplified fraction. All right, and then finally I checked my answer, multiplying my 180 times 115, and then adding 135, which was my remainder. And I came up with my dividend. There, they match, so I knew my answer was correct. Okay, that was a big work day. Good job trying your very best. Go ahead and take a photo snapshot of all those notes and those problems. You might have to upload more than one, or you can set them right next to each other and try to get them both in the same snapshot. That would work too. And upload those to our Google Classroom. All right, have a great rest of your day.